The TRACERS project is a double satellite mission that's going to fly through this region of Earth's magnetic field called the Cusp. It has 2 satellites flying at about the same altitude, and they're going to follow one after another to understand how this process that happens far away from Earth called magnetic reconnection has a footprint down near Earth. And this pair of satellites is going to answer some fundamental questions about how the Earth interacts with the Sun. And so here at the University of Iowa, we've been the main institution that's leading the way for the development of this project. But you have a series of other institutions from Berkeley and Southwest Research Institute that are a part of this great scientific endeavor.
There are 3 separate goals. One of them is kind of figuring out what's actually in the plasma. So that's the solar wind, the particles that are ejected from the sun that's coming down and precipitating. There is electric field and magnetic field data that we're trying to capture. And then there's also electric magnetic waves. What I specifically do is signal processing. So I will get a bunch of data and try to figure out what's the best way to extract that information. And there's different techniques that we can do, different ways to transform the data so that it's easier to pull out information.
The University of Iowa builds a large portion of the instruments for this satellite. My role in TRACERS was to help out with the development of the electron instrument here at Iowa called the ACE instrument. And along the way, I learned all of the little ins and outs that helped me debug, fix, and develop some of the programming for calibrations of the now ACE instrument on TRACERS. The menagerie of folks that you meet that get involved meant that I got a wide variety of experiences for the types of perspectives on problems. It's not just an academic, scientific point of view, but you have the engineers and the types of problems you wouldn't normally deal with as a student.
In the first year, they'll have 3,000 orbits that will go around and then intersect with the cusp. And then hopefully with the 2 satellites that are going to work together, be able to kind of see what's actually happening. My job is to get rid of the satellite interference. And so when the physicists want to really understand what's going on, they don't have to worry about extra artifacts that aren't meaningful. Usually there's a boom that will be out, and so the satellite will be held on the outside of it. If it's not too loud there, then we can say, okay, the satellite, we're actually not too worried about it. We're about to be able to collect a vast amount of data, and not just from one spot, but from 2 different spots where if we saw an event in one, we can see what's actually happening in the other.
Craig Klutzing was my mentor here at the University of Iowa for the majority of my time. I got to see him develop the TRACERS mission with Stephen Fuselier and understand how a top-level scientist goes about answering some fundamental questions about our world. Craig's career had been involved in the science that TRACERS is now doing for almost his entire career, starting with his own sounding rockets that he did from Greenland all the way to large spacecraft far away from Earth, and now it was culminating in the TRACERS mission. There's few individuals who were as honest and kind and giving with their time as Craig was. I think the long-lasting impact he'll have on those around him is not necessarily his science, for which he was fundamental, but also his character and how you're supposed to present yourself as a scientific expert. Only in places like the University of Iowa, where space physics in the United States was born, does a grad student perhaps get such opportunities to be so hands-on with fundamental science questions that NASA has decided to fund.
It kind of shows that, okay, I have been a part of something big going into a space-related field. I do think that it's a great stepping stone to kind of say, I was able to make an impact here. What can I do for you?
The TRACERS project is a project that I cannot say very many grad students would get a chance to experience. The ability to have worked as a part of a multi-million dollar mission to help develop on these instruments that will make fundamental contributions to science as a whole looks great, not only a resume, but as someone who wants to explore these questions in the future, this shows you the type of dedication that's required to answer them.